Humans are so marvelously weird. We are these walking bags of water just brimming with insight and ideas and awe and curiosity and anxiety and neurosis, and that's just us as individuals. Put us together in a family unit, and that is when things can get wild. For many of us, family is the greatest source of joy and comfort that we will ever know. And at the same time, they're kind of insufferable. And there's a vital tension there in between that is an absolute treasure trove for art. So why is this our default family portrait? Why are millions of these hanging on millions of walls across the US? This is a very sterilized, homogenized, buttoned up, lined up version of family. We are taking one of the most profound elements of our existence and flattening into the visual equivalent of a mass object. And that's a big deal, because when we flatten the way we perceive ourselves in the world, we flatten the way we feel. When I first started as a photographer, I too dragged the families out to the fields, but it wasn't until I realized I was only interested in delivering images like this, images that had a grain of honesty, that I started looking for a better way to make family photos. I'd like to introduce you my life's work, documentary family photography, or DFP. Documentary family photography is photojournalism in the home. The photos that I make are 100% unposed. I do not interfere with my clients whatsoever, not even to turn off a light switch. Now, I fly across the country to shoot these families, and I'll show up at their house Friday night, spend the night, wake up, and start making pictures from the time the first kid wakes up to the time the last kid goes to bed. It's called a day in the life session. They're typically about 13 to 15 hours. So cool concept, but does it have to be so lengthy? Yes. Grown-ups need a good amount of time to adjust to a stranger in their house with a camera in their face, but also grown-ups are good at putting on a pretty convincing front for about 2 hours. Everything is well lit and whimsical, and we always start our day in the garden. About 2 hours in, somebody cracks. That's when my work truly begins. It's like when you have a new friend and you're sort of on the surface for a while, but then you hit that first conflict and it hurts, but then you can move on to the good stuff. Now, on the other hand, kids do not require this time to adjust. I'm in their home. I'm in their space. I'm with their parents, so they are always honest, always completely, unapologetically themselves. Kids are the muse and the anchor of day in the life sessions. So you're giving me a whole day, vulnerable, off guard, and then you're paying me at the end of the day. So you better get some remarkable imagery out of it. So what makes a stunning DFP image? Well, it's a combination of light, composition, and exposure. And I'm not just talking about the good light. Yes, light can be flattering, it can be luxurious, but it can also be moody and off-putting. Sorry, we have somebody in the audience these kids belong to. So long as the light is enhancing the story that I'm telling, it's the light that I want to work with. But composition is my favorite of the three, because it requires so much discipline and patience. You have to read a space, position yourself so precisely, and predict when your subject is going to move through that negative space. It can take a long time. But a photo can be gorgeously exposed and cleverly composed. But if nothing is happening, it's not a picture. A moment can be big. It can be a big reaction. But most of the time, moments are subtle. They're a glance. They're a gesture. Now, when all three come together, light, composition, and moment, you have a photo that could potentially transcend the genre and become something that evokes reaction in someone who doesn't know anything about the photo. In other words, these photos can become art. It's a lofty goal, but it's a worthy one, because we all know that art can reignite that latent curiosity, awe, insight, all of those things we have inside. And imagine what it would do if the art that's causing that reaction is your own family. Imagine how transformative that could be, how it could help you appreciate the present moment. I've shot over 200 families across the US and Europe. I've shot my neighbors, and I've shot movie stars, and I'm here to tell you, we all have mess. We all have moods. We all get bored. And sometimes the discomfort can take up a lot of space in a room. It can feel really big. Where the delights, the moment of joy and connection we have with our family, those can be doled out in really quick, brief moments. You might go to bed at the end of the day and not remember any of these. You may be so busy doing the things that need to be done, you don't even notice this when it happens, but I notice it. And it is my job to anticipate this moment and to read the ever-shifting landscape and light so that I can tell your story in the most compelling way possible. And if I do my job, you will realize that you're actually the lead of an indie flick. So please, unflatten yourself in family photos. You are a star. And also, turn off all the overhead lights in your house because they make everybody yellow. Thank you.